The Frozen Discovery. Professor Sir Alexander Saxton has completed an expedition in Manchuria, where he discovered the frozen remains of a primitive humanoid inside a cave. Saxton believes the body may be the missing link between apes and humans. Determined to study it in Europe, he seals the specimen inside a heavy wooden crate and transports it to the railway station in Shanghai. There, he meets Dr. Wells, a friendly scientific rival traveling with his assistant, Miss Jones.
And what are you doing in Shanghai?
I've asked you the same thing.
Oh, I'm just collecting a few specimens. Miss Jones, let me introduce Professor Alexander Saxton.
Before the train departs, a skilled thief named Krasinski attempts to open Saxton's crate. Moments later, he is found dead beside it. Blood has poured from his eyes, which have turned completely white. Father Pujardov immediately declares that something evil is inside the box. He even tries drawing a cross on the crate with chalk, but the chalk mysteriously leaves no mark. Saxton dismisses the warning as superstition and orders the crate loaded onto the train. Something escapes. As the Trans-Siberian Express begins its journey toward Moscow, Wells becomes increasingly curious about Saxton's secret discovery. Without Saxton's permission, he pays the baggage handler to drill a small hole into the crate and look inside. The worker approaches the box alone. As the frozen body slowly begins to thaw, one of its eyes opens and glows red. The creature kills the baggage handler, drains the knowledge from his mind, and hides the body inside the crate. It then uses the man's memories to unlock the box and escape into the train. When the crate is eventually opened, Saxton's specimen is gone. The baggage handler's corpse has taken its place. Inspector Mirov orders his men to search the train without alarming the passengers, but the creature is already moving through the dark corridors, killing guards and becoming more intelligent with every victim. The empty brains. Wells examines one of the bodies and discovers something impossible. The victim's brain is completely smooth. Ordinarily, the surface of a human brain contains patterns associated with memory and knowledge. But this brain appears to have been wiped clean, as though everything inside it had been erased. Wells realizes the white eyes are connected to the deaths. The creature is not simply killing people, it is absorbing their memories through their eyes. Every person it murders gives it new knowledge, new abilities, and a better understanding of the world around it. Meanwhile, a mysterious passenger named Natasha reveals herself to be an international spy. She secretly enters the baggage compartment to steal a sample of an advanced steel alloy belonging to Count Petrovsk. The creature corners her in the baggage car. Wells arrives and is nearly attacked, but Inspector Mirov rushes in and shoots the humanoid several times. The creature collapses. As Mirov stares into its glowing red eyes, he suddenly loses consciousness. Everyone believes the nightmare is over, but the ancient body was only a host. The real creature has transferred itself into Mirov. The alien's memories. Saxton, Wells, and Miss Jones examine one of the dead creature's eyes. They discover that images have been preserved inside its eye fluid, almost like photographs. Under a microscope, they see prehistoric animals that disappeared millions of years ago. Then they see something even more disturbing. It is an image of Earth viewed from outer space. The humanoid could not possibly have seen the planet from that perspective. Saxton concludes that the body contained an extraterrestrial intelligence that arrived on Earth millions of years earlier. Unable to survive on its own, the alien entered primitive organisms and continued moving into more advanced hosts as life evolved. The frozen humanoid was only its most recent body. When that body died, the alien simply entered another person. Unknown to the scientists, that person is Inspector Mirov, the monster hiding among them. Now controlling Mirov's body, the alien begins targeting people with useful knowledge. It kills Natasha and takes what she knows about espionage and the steel sample. It later kills Miss Jones after learning that she knows about the images preserved inside the creature's eye. But when Father Pujardov confronts the alien, it refuses to kill him. The creature tells the priest that there is nothing inside his mind worth taking. Instead of being horrified, Boyardov becomes convinced that the alien is Satan. Desperate to serve it, he offers his loyalty. The possessor, Murov, then approaches Yevtushenko, an engineer familiar with gravity, high-temperature metals, and theories about rocket travel. After questioning him, the alien kills him and absorbs his knowledge. Saxon and Wells finally understand its purpose. The alien has been stranded on Earth since prehistoric times. It is gathering scientific information that could help it build a new spacecraft and return to the stars. The passengers are no longer random victims. They are sources of information. The creature fears the light. Yevtushenko is found dead beside another passenger who was sleeping in the same compartment. The second man explains that the lights were off when the murder occurred. When he awakened and switched them on, the killer had already disappeared. Saxon realizes the creature only uses its deadly power in darkness. Strong light prevents it from draining a victim's brain. Knowing the alien could now be inside anyone, the passengers are told to remain together in pairs. But before Saxton and Wells can expose the host, the train received to spies, rebels, or foreign enemies. He threatens the passengers and demands that Inspector Murov identify the suspects. Father Boyardov suddenly comes to Murov's defense, making Saxon even more suspicious. To test his theory, Saxon switches off the lights. In the darkness, Murov's eyes begin glowing red. The alien has been exposed. Kazan shoots Murov and drives a blade into his body. Wounded, Murov escapes into another carriage while Boyardov follows him. As Murov dies, the alien prepares to abandon its host. Boyardov kneels beside him and willingly asks the creature to enter his body. The alien accepts, Murov dies, and Father Boyardov rises as the creature's new host. The massacre on the train. Saxton and Wells begin moving the surviving passengers toward the rear baggage car, carrying powerful lamps to protect themselves. Captain Kazan and his soldiers remain behind. Now possessing Boyardov, the alien shuts off the lights and attacks. Within moments, Kazan and his men are dead. Their eyes are white and their knowledge has been absorbed. The alien then confronts Count Petrovsky. The Count created the advanced steel Natasha attempted to steal, but the formula exists only inside his mind. Boyardov kills him and takes that information as well.
Others like myself. I was left behind. An accident. I survived in protozoans, fish, vertebrates. The history of your planet is part of me. Pull the trigger.
It explains that it is a form of energy from another galaxy. It arrived on Earth with others of its kind but was accidentally left behind. For millions of years, it survived by moving through different life forms, from simple organisms to fish, animals, and eventually humans. It carries the biological history of Earth inside its memory. The alien offers Saxton a deal. If he allows it to live, it will share knowledge capable of ending disease, hunger, and pain. Saxton refuses. A creature that has murdered everyone who stood in its way cannot be trusted with humanity's future. The dead rise. The alien reveals that it has one final ability. Every victim it has killed suddenly rises from the floor. The dead passengers and soldiers return as white-eyed corpses under the creature's control. Saxton opens fire, while he and Countess Arena fight their way through the train. The narrow corridors are now filled with reanimated bodies, forcing them to push past the same people the alien murdered earlier. They eventually reach the rear car, where Wells and the surviving passengers are waiting. But another threat is approaching. Russian officials have sent a telegram ordering the train destroyed. At the next switching station, workers are instructed to divert the express onto a dead-end track overlooking a gorge. They do not know what has happened aboard the train. They only know they must ensure that nothing reaches Moscow. The final escape. As the train approaches the switching point, Saxton and Wells attempt to disconnect the rear carriage from the rest of the express. The white-eyed dead continue closing in from the forward cars. With only moments remaining, the two scientists release the coupling. The final carriage separates. Saxton, Wells, Countess Irina, and the remaining survivors slow to a stop while the rest of the train continues toward the gorge. The engine enters the diverted track, reaches the end and plunges over the cliff. The entire train crashes into the ravine and explodes. Could hide inside anyone on the train. Would you trust Saxton and Wells, or would you suspect that one of them had already become the creature? Share your answer in the comments, and subscribe for more classic horror movie recaps.